Panpsychism is a philosophical theory that challenges conventional notions of consciousness by positing that all things, from inanimate objects to the vast expanse of the universe itself, possess some form of consciousness. This provocative idea has sparked intense debates among philosophers, scientists, and scholars across various disciplines. In this review, we will delve into the core concepts of panpsychism, its historical roots, contemporary interpretations, and the implications it holds for our understanding of consciousness, the mind-matter relationship, and the nature of reality. Before we dive in, if you find this content valuable, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below. It truly helps us grow. Now, let's get started. Historical origins of panpsychism. 1. Ancient philosophical roots. The concept of panpsychism can be traced back to ancient philosophy, with early proponents like Thales and Anaximander suggesting that everything has a fundamental principle of life or soul. Thales, for instance, proposed that water was the primal substance imbued with life force, while Anaximander posited an abstract, boundless principle as the source of all existence. These early thinkers laid the groundwork for contemplating the interconnectedness of consciousness and the material world, a theme that would resurface throughout the history of philosophy. Examining the contributions of pre-Socratic philosophers and their views on the unity of life and matter reveals a profound curiosity about the underlying nature of reality. From Heraclitus' concept of the ever-changing nature of existence to Parmenides' exploration of the relationship between being and non-being, these early philosophers engaged in philosophical inquiries that foreshadowed the later development of panpsychism. 2. Panpsychism in Eastern philosophy. In Hinduism, the concept of Brahman represents the ultimate reality, an infinite consciousness from which all things emanate. Similarly, Buddhism emphasizes the interconnectedness of all sentient beings and the recognition of consciousness as an inherent and pervasive aspect of existence. These Eastern philosophical traditions offer unique perspectives on panpsychism, highlighting the continuity of thought across cultures and epochs, as they, too, grapple with the profound relationship between consciousness and the universe. Early modern revival and development. 1. Spinoza's panpsychism. Baruch Spinoza, a prominent philosopher of the 17th century, made significant contributions to panpsychism through his philosophical system, which posited God as the fundamental substance of the universe. In Spinoza's worldview, God was synonymous with nature, and everything in existence was a mode or expression of this divine substance. Importantly, Spinoza's panpsychism implied that everything, from human beings to inanimate objects, possessed some degree of consciousness as a reflection of the divine. This perspective challenged traditional religious and philosophical views by blurring the line between the sacred and the mundane, asserting that consciousness permeates all aspects of reality. Spinoza's panpsychism has since sparked profound discussions about the nature of divinity, the unity of existence, and the interconnectedness of consciousness. 2. Leibniz's monadology. Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz, a polymath and philosopher of the 17th and 18th centuries, developed a sophisticated panpsychist worldview in his monadology. He introduced the concept of monads, which he described as immaterial and indivisible substances that possessed both perception and appetition. Monads, according to Leibniz, were the ultimate building blocks of reality, and they formed a vast hierarchy, ranging from simple, unconscious monads to complex, conscious ones. Leibniz's panpsychism posited that even the smallest entities in the universe had a form of consciousness, albeit in varying degrees. Leibniz's monadology not only contributed to the panpsychist tradition but also provided a unique metaphysical framework for understanding the nature of individuality, perception, and the interconnectedness of all monads within the grand cosmic harmony. His ideas have left a lasting impact on philosophy and continue to inspire discussions about the relationship between consciousness and the fabric of reality. Contemporary panpsychism. 1. Russellian monism. In the realm of contemporary philosophy of mind, Russellian monism presents a fascinating reinterpretation of panpsychism. It marries panpsychist notions with a physicalistic framework, offering a unique perspective on the nature of consciousness. Russellian monism, often associated with philosopher Bertrand Russell, suggests that mental and physical properties are fundamentally integrated in the fabric of reality. This view proposes that the intrinsic properties of physical entities, such as atoms and particles, contain elements of consciousness. Unlike traditional dualism, which posits a strict separation between mind and matter, Russellian monism embraces a holistic perspective where consciousness and the physical world are inseparable. This approach challenges us to rethink our understanding of the mind-matter relationship in a way that bridges the gap between the subjective and the objective. 2. Integrated Information Theory. Giulio Tononi's Integrated Information Theory, IIT, is a cutting-edge theory in the field of neuroscience and philosophy of consciousness that incorporates panpsychist elements. IIT posits that consciousness is not just an emergent property of complex systems, but is inherent in the universe's intrinsic causal structure. According to IIT, any system, whether biological or artificial, possesses a level of consciousness determined by the amount of integrated information it generates. This theory places information at the heart of consciousness, suggesting that even the fundamental components of the universe contribute to the overall consciousness of reality. IIT challenges conventional materialist views by emphasizing the fundamental role of information and connectivity in the emergence of conscious experience, offering a fresh perspective on the relationship between the physical world and consciousness. 3. Quantum Panpsychism. Quantum panpsychism represents a fascinating intersection between panpsychism and the enigmatic world of quantum physics. Proponents of this view argue that the fundamental constituents of reality, at the quantum level, possess proto-consciousness. In the context of quantum mechanics, where particles exhibit behaviors such as superposition and entanglement, some argue that these phenomena suggest a level of inherent consciousness in the fabric of the universe. Quantum panpsychism has been proposed as a potential solution to the quantum measurement problem, as it suggests that observation and measurement may interact with the intrinsic consciousness of quantum entities. This perspective invites us to contemplate the profound implications of quantum theory on our understanding of consciousness and the nature of reality, pushing the boundaries of scientific and philosophical discourse. Critiques and challenges. 1. The combination problem. A central challenge in panpsychism revolves around the combination problem, which questions how microconscious entities, such as individual particles or atoms, combine to form a unified, macroconscious experience, like human consciousness. Various solutions have been proposed, including Panpsychism, which posits that microconsciousness is primitive and can form a higher-order consciousness when organized appropriately. Another approach suggests that consciousness is a holistic property, with no need for aggregation. This issue remains a focal point of discussion, pushing panpsychists to refine their theories and explore novel solutions. 2. Panpsychism and Emergentism. Panpsychism stands in contrast to emergentism, a competing theory in the philosophy of mind. Emergentism asserts that consciousness arises as an emergent property from complex interactions among non-conscious elements, such as neurons in the brain. While panpsychism posits that consciousness is inherent, emergentism claims it emerges at a certain level of complexity. This distinction fuels debates on whether consciousness is a fundamental aspect of the universe or an emergent phenomenon tied to specific arrangements of matter. 3. Ethical and moral implications. Panpsychism raises profound ethical questions regarding the moral status of inanimate objects and the environment. If everything possesses some form of consciousness, it challenges our ethical responsibilities towards non-human entities. Environmental ethics, in particular, are deeply affected, as panpsychism suggests that we share a world rich in consciousness with all living and even non-living entities. This philosophical viewpoint prompts us to reevaluate our treatment of the environment and consider new perspectives on our interconnectedness with the consciousness inherent in nature. Panpsychism in contemporary science. 1. Neuroscientific perspectives. Panpsychism's interaction with modern neuroscience is a topic of growing interest. Some researchers propose that the brain does not create consciousness from scratch, but rather acts as a filter and integrator of pre-existing conscious properties. This perspective aligns with panpsychism's assertion that consciousness is a fundamental aspect of the universe, suggesting that the brain's role may be more about shaping and organizing conscious experiences rather than generating them. This viewpoint encourages further exploration into the neural mechanisms underlying consciousness and how they relate to the broader philosophical implications of panpsychism. 2. Consciousness and artificial intelligence. Panpsychism's implications for artificial intelligence, AI, are significant. If consciousness is inherent in the universe, it challenges the quest to create conscious machines. While AI systems can simulate human-like behaviors, the question of whether they possess genuine consciousness remains contentious. Panpsychism prompts us to consider whether we can imbue machines with consciousness or if their AI functions merely mimic aspects of consciousness. This philosophical perspective influences the ethical and practical dimensions of AI development, raising questions about the rights and responsibilities associated with creating potentially conscious entities. The intersection of panpsychism and AI underscores the complexity of the mind-matter relationship in the digital age.